What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Get It Right Saturday Night Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Francis, here with my fellow co-host, Oscar Morale
Hey guys, how you doing?
and Colin Fursley.
What's going on, boys?
Spring semester here in college, and we're bringing the
We're
podcast right
back.
back at you. We had some fun, some cool vlogs came out, Santa Slam. We played some
Yeah.
golf, 7 under par. If you haven't checked those videos out, be sure to check them out because you're missing out on what I would consider a generational run for 3 weeks in winter break. But
I
hey,
agree.
that's all in the
Very
past.
fun.
We're in the present now, and what's in front of us is a Miami Natty win. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But
It
Colin,
ain't happening.
why don't you get us right into what we're supposed to, speak about today?
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff with football going on. Very excited for that. But first, we gotta look, take a little bit into the NBA basketball. A lot of things going on. The NBA trade deadline is coming up. And actually, already was a trade happened a couple weeks ago, maybe 1 week ago now at this point. Which it was kind of a little bit of a head scratcher in my personal opinion. But uh, we got Trae Young being traded to the Washington Wizards. Now, he wanted out of Atlanta. So they're like, all right, fine, we'll trade you. Trae Young, since you're such a great player, where would you like to go? Name your team, any team. Where would you like to go play basketball? And he
Send
said
me
the
to
Wizards.
Washington.
Send me to Washington. Well, that doesn't make any sense. So I was very
Well,
confused.
if
And
you
then,
think about it, Colin, it does make sense. Why? Because you look at who's on that team, and
hmm
honestly, who's has great success right now this year? The Miami Hurricanes. And what player on that team played on the Miami Hurricanes?
okay.
None other than
Shout
Keyshawn
out,
George
shout
himself,
out.
who's
Yep,
who's having an absolute career year this
it's
year.
true.
So
Absolutely.
he saw that the Canes were flowing, and he said, "I gotta get me some of that Canes juice and Canes momentum into the new year."
That's true. Unfortunately for circumstances due to my IR, my IR and fantasy basketball, I did have to drop Keyshawn George today, so he's no longer a part of my team. But he was playing very
No,
well. I'm sorry, Oscar. I'm sorry. He was playing very well, but I mean, I want to hear your thoughts on the trade because the Wizards they suck and he's good, so I don't know why he chose to go there. But what made it even more weird is the trade, like who the Hawks got. They got Corey Kispert and CJ McCollum. They got nobody. So you trade a good player who willingly wants to go to a bad team, and in return you get bad players. It didn't make any sense. Mark, what do you think?
I think what we're seeing here is that the NBA is clearly valuing defense above everything else nowadays, and being able to play off a switch is one of the most important things come playoff time. And Trae Young, just like as good as he is offensively, he is a such a defensive liability. And mind you, also when he does play offensively, he's such a ball heavy guard. To be efficient, he needs the ball in his hands a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, right now the situation is good for Trae Young. And I know it sounds like I'm trashing on Trae Young, and I really don't want to because I think he's a phenomenal player. I really think he's probably the second best shooter off the dribble behind Stephen Curry in this league, or maybe Luka Doncic. Um, but I think that as long as Trae Young is, in a system that doesn't have that many defensive solid players around him, he's not going to be able to thrive. And I think the Wizards are probably going to just be subpar, a little bit above average the rest of the season and maybe next season with him. I think what they're probably going to do is trade for more players in the offseason, in
Yeah,
my opinion. I think that's what's
that's
going to
true.
happen with the Wizards. And then they're going to make a real, retooling of their team, keep valuable young guys like Keyshawn George, if they can. And if not, trade him away for good assets.
I think you should trade away Keyshawn George. I mean, you saw him ball out at the beginning of the year before they got Trae Young. You can get better assets for him right now than later. So I think you might as well, honestly.
Also, they still have what was the first pick of the draft 2 years ago?
Yeah, Alex Sarr.
Czar, Alex
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Czar,
boy is
who
buns, bro.
Well, he's been
yeah,
good. I thought
he's
he was
been
good.
okay. Yeah, he's not. I feel like it's unfair to him that he was the first pick of the draft because usually that comes with so much expectation that he quite honestly hasn't fulfilled. But as a player, objectively, he has developed pretty nicely. I have to agree with Colin
What
there.
year was that?
Yeah.
2024?
Yeah, second overall pick in 24. He's averaging 17, 8, and 3. I feel like that's pretty solid for him, you know?
Yeah,
It's pretty
it
good.
is.
And
No,
the
I mean the
Hawks
Wizards are
drafted some
they're
rando.
Zachary Risachet.
Who's that guy?
He's on the Hawks.
He's
I don't know.
irrelevant to me.
Look, the Wizards are tied for the second worst record in the league. They have 10 wins. The Pelicans also have 10 wins, and the Pacers, who are on last, have 9 wins. So they're basically last. Um, I I don't think adding Trae Young is really going to help them a whole lot. They need more players, and I think finishing bottom 3 in the league this year will also award them a better draft pick. So, I mean, maybe over time their tanking will eventually help them, but Trae Young alone is not going to do that. And I guarantee you, he's Trae Young is gonna want to ask out like soon
Yeah.
if this like because it's not gonna go well. There's no way they're gonna win. I
Well,
don't see it.
he asked to
here's
go there though. That's the crazy thing. I don't
But
think he's gonna
why?
ask out.
well
Well,
because
clearly he knows something we don't.
I don't
here's
know.
my kind of like prediction. I think he asked to go to this trash team because he's gonna be their one. He's gonna be their one more than
He
he
was
was
the
at the.
one in
Yeah, he was
Atlanta.
already the one though.
But they weren't treating him like the one. They had other players there, and they were taking points off his hand, right? So I think he's gonna ball out, right? He only has what, 2 years left on his contract, 1 year left on his contract, not that long, right? I think he's gonna ball out, and then he's gonna get paid a supermax contract elsewhere. It's a good strategy. It's a good strategy. You go to a trash team, you ball out, you play great, teams want you, you're going to get paid so much money, and you go to somewhere you desire and you can actually choose where to go again. So, 2 times he gets to choose where he wants to go. He plays now for another bad team, does whatever he wants because he can, because he is their one, and that's it. And Atlanta wanted him out because clearly Atlanta knew he was going to do this stuff too. So, yeah, Atlanta got fleeced based off of assets, but internally they're probably happy because they're done with this toxicity, this ball hog, this generation of the Atlanta Hawks, and now they can move into something different where they can pursue success and not be a play-in team and a play-in losing team for the last 5 years.
That's a very hot take, Mark. But we'll see how it ages.
Yeah, for sure. And then the other move that hasn't happened yet, but as Miami Heat fans, we are monitoring this very closely. I don't really know how I feel about this, to be honest, but Ja Morant is linked to potentially join the Miami Heat in a trade before the deadline this year. I find it really interesting that, like, okay, he wants to come to Miami. Duh, everybody wants to come to Miami. I get that. But why would Pat Riley want to bring him in? He has, obviously, we all know, a very long history of not great things personally.
He's a
Uh,
liable player. He's a liability.
he's a huge liability. And I mean, I guess if it means we can trade away Terry Rozier, sure, like we don't lose anything. But I don't know what this package would consist of. After what Trae Young just went for, I assume we would be able to give up less because Trae Young went for nothing, so that's good. And he's still a decent player. I don't think he's as good as he was before, but he's still good. I just don't know why Pat Riley would want him here in the first place. He doesn't fit that Heat culture you typically think of.
Gentlemen, let me present
Let me
an
hear.
argument, a
Let me
case
hear.
for it. You were kind of setting it up there already.
All right.
But Ja Morant, you look at him 3 years ago and you're thinking, oh my God, generational superstar.
Oh,
Like he's gonna be
100%.
he's gonna be the next face of the league. He's gonna be, everything Nike wanted him to be, everything the NBA wanted him to be. The NBA was starting to take it over by the Europeans, and here comes this American-made superstar who's like, now we can play too,
Yeah,
and that developed into
Black
Anthony
Jesus,
Edwards.
as they call him.
Yeah, he was baptizing people left and right, just a walking highlight reel. But then obviously we saw how his off the court scandals and off the court issues affected his play and affected his relationship really with his staff and the organization as a whole, not to mention tarnished his reputation in the NBA. I think because of that, as you were alluding to, Colin, You have a player who's just about to peak in his prime. I mean, this guy's barely 26 years old. He's got so much playing time left. It's not like the Damian Lillard situation where, yeah, Dame wanted to come here, but he was already so old, and we were only going to get, 2, 3 years maybe left of him, like at really like optimum playing capacity. Plus, we were probably going to have to trade away a lot because, he's a seasoned vet. He's on a huge contract, all this stuff. I think there's so much upside that we can get for Morant. And like you said, he's like just in such a damaged state reputational wise that if there's any team that can turn him around where there's no nonsense, no BS, we don't care what the hell you think you can do, what the hell if we don't care if you think you're the man. You come here to play for the Heat. It's about Heat culture. It's about discipline. It's about you got to do the right thing. I would say the Heat and San Antonio have really built up these reputations of like where you come to work to play basketball. This
Yeah.
isn't a game, like it's work. um and I think if there's any place he can turn around his reputation, it's here in Miami because although Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs have a great system, the reason I wouldn't include them is because Ja Morant is such a strong personality. He's going to be conflictive, and we saw that we can handle personalities like that before. Case in point, Jimmy Butler. All right, even though we couldn't win a championship with Jimmy, we were very successful under the Jimmy era. When all the pieces lined up for us, we had two finals runs, and I think Ja is, if I'm being honest, a much better player at his best than Jimmy is at his best. So and Spoelstra will make anything work. We've seen that.
Yeah,
Spoelstra, in
that's
my
true.
opinion, is the best coach in the NBA. So if they can
100%.
get this trade, very low assets have to be traded. His market value is really at an all-time low. His upside is incredible, right? Like if he can turn out and to be a great player for us, it'll be the steal of the century. And if not, oh well, we didn't even give up that much for him. So I say if they're gonna do something, they better go after him because it's better than doing nothing and being in the state where we are right now.
I agree. I think that's a great point. I think that's a great point. Mark, you have anything to add?
Yeah, look, I mean, in in life, you have to take risks, right? Jamie Dimon took lots of risks, and now he's very successful, right? Uh, let me continue. Let me continue. Right. We saw what Pat Riley can do. He traded Kevin Love, and he got Norman Powell, right? Norman Powell was playing well. We got a player that was playing well, that's quiet, that doesn't bother anyone. He's a baller. He balls. John Morant, he's a liability. I think we know that. But we've seen players with strong personalities come to Miami and be under the system of Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra. And if we know one thing about these two, they're ruthless. They don't care. You're gonna be a liability to us. You're gonna listen to them. If they're so strict on how much you weigh, you think they're gonna be strict on if you can go out at night, if you can have a firearm, if you can do this, if you can do that. This kid made mistakes, but in
Yeah, they'll
Memphis,
probably cut
nobody
his playing
cared.
time and not care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in
Yeah.
Memphis, this kid made mistakes, but in Memphis, he didn't care. He didn't want to be there. He doesn't want
Well,
to be there. We
it's
saw it.
not only that they care; they didn't have anything to leverage against him. He was the face of the organization. What are they
and
gonna tell
and
him?
and I think Memphis is gonna be uh, a clean sweep. Who's the second player that they have, like Jaren Jackson or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy gone as well, 100%. By the end of this season, he'll be gone. If it's in the trade deadline or not, I think this team wants to clean house. I think Ja Morant is. It's a risk we can take, but if we get rid of this contract from Terry Rozier, if we can get rid of a player like Nikola Jovic, for example, who his inconsistencies overbar his consistencies, and whatever assets we have to give up, do I think we should give up Jaime Jaquez Jr.? No, I think we give up Casparas. I think we can. I'm just curious to see if we do trade for him. How
We're
is
not gonna have to give up much for him. I
no,
mean, Colin said it.
I
You
know,
look at the Trae Young trade, and you really a draft pick and maybe two rotational players.
but here's the thing that I want to kind of hit next is how is the rotation going to work, right? We're already seeing struggles in this team, just in general. We saw them get hot. Now Tyler Hero's back. Spoelstra's not starting where? Nobody knows why. What is going on? How is
Well,
he gonna fit
I think
into this
with
team? What are you
him,
gonna do with
first of all,
Davion? What do you?
he's
I
gonna
mean,
be yeah, I think he's gonna be perfect because it's gonna allow all those guys that were forced into starting minutes to come off the bench and really be at their best. So I think if you have him at the point, he's gonna be so ball heavy. He's gonna be able to lead the offense. Spoelstra's gonna obviously. I think there's gonna be a learning curve, um, between him and Spoelstra, and like making sure Spoelstra gets through to him in terms of running the offense the way it should be run. But I think once you get those guys that you were just talking about, Mark, coming off the bench, it's going to provide that extra juice that we need in games to start winning these closer games that we're playing in. Um,
I just, I'm
I
just
think
not.
it'll be good. I
I
think it will be
I
good for
feel like
us.
we have with Ja Morant, we're gonna have two ball heavy guys in Tyler Hero and Ja Morant, and
Well,
don't they
it's
play
not like they
both?
can both
Don't,
have the ball at the same time. If Jaw's on the court, Jaw's getting the ball. Like
but then
he's
what
better player than Hero.
what do you do
And
with
then
Hero? Because Hero has an ego of a maniac, and Hero thinks he should be starting. And yeah, we've seen him go into that sixth man role,
I
and he
mean, I
plays
wouldn't say he
great.
has an ego. He's
But then
prideful, but
what do
he's
you do with
played
Jaime
behind Jimmy
Jaquez?
and Bam. He's played behind Jimmy and Bam his whole life. Hero knows how to play in the system.
Yeah,
He may
but
be
then he
prideful, but I think he's disciplined enough to know when to take his
yeah, but
turns.
he became the one when Jimmy left, and he was playing great. I'm just not sure how all these pieces are gonna fit in. Am I confident that Spo will know what to do? Absolutely. Do I think with Ja that we will still play fast? 100%. I feel like we have too many guys that are in a similar position who maybe we do something crazier. Maybe we go after Giannis. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. We get
You're
Ja, we
gonna have
get
to give
like
up so much for Jan. Think about it. For Jaw, you don't even have to give up Bam or Hero.
Look,
yeah,
I
but
think. Oh, look, the problem that you guys are talking about is that we have too many good players. All right. So I think first of all, that's a good thing. Second of all, Tyler Hero has been playing unbelievably. He's averaging 22 points. I'm looking at the stats right now. Currently, the Heat are up 55-47 on the Celtics. Tyler Hero is 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, and he has 15 points. It's not even halftime. He is playing out of his mind. I think he's a great player. He needs to stay on the court. Now, I understand having him and Ja together are two small guys, and the Heat's problem is that they don't have any size.
well,
But
we do have
like,
size. We have
who?
Kelaware, Ware,
We
but we
have
don't
Kamel
start him.
Ware.
We don't start him.
We don't.
I think the stat is like
But
14 and 5 when Ware is starting. 14 and 5, but we're not starting him. Why?
well, I think because
This is a center run league. If you don't have a center, you're cooked. We're seeing
Well, we
all
do
the
have a
best,
center in Bam Adebayo, but I
but
think Mark,
but
you
he's
gotta keep in mind Khalil Ware is still this is his second year in the league. They're
yeah,
still developing him.
no,
All
of
right, they
course,
don't want to overuse him either.
and I get it,
yeah.
but we've
And look,
seen him shine.
John Morant is not going to affect Khalil Ware's minutes at all. That doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. So I
No,
don't
it
think
won't.
that, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. So I think having Ja, if he comes and plays well and he's disciplined and he goes back to how he was a couple years ago, he's like he literally can't hurt us. He's a great player. So I think
That's what I
that
was saying. Like,
yeah.
if he pans out and it turns into fruition for us, oh my God, we got the steal of the century. And if not, oh well, we barely gave up anything in the first place for him anyways. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I agree. I agree. So we'll see what happens with that. John
Yeah,
Morant
yeah,
probably
we
will
will.
get traded. Heat are not the only team in the picture. There's a couple other teams. So the Heat are rumored to get literally every player
The,
that ever has
the
existed,
Heat
and
are
they end up
pictured to
getting
get
none of them.
everyone, and then
So
he's gonna end up getting traded to like the Lakers for some reason. I
yeah,
don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't
that'd be
know.
I
hilarious.
might just shoot myself.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Um, all right. Next up, I was gonna go into college first and then the NFL, but we gotta save that for almost last. So actually, we will save that for last. Let's go into the NFL right now. Um, some of the uh, crazy storylines have been going on having to do with coaches in the NFL. A lot of coaches are getting fired. I think there's 7 or 8 head coaching positions that are available. A lot of GM
Nine,
positions too, uh,
9 head coaches were available.
including the Giants or no?
Not yeah.
Because
Well, now it's
okay,
8
so
because the
okay,
Giants.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's 8. So well, just to set the scene, as you guys all know, I'm sure John Harbaugh was with the Ravens for what, 17 years, I think. And
Yeah,
he led them to a Super Bowl. They won it in 2012. One of the best coaches, well, the best coach for the Ravens ever. But he got fired after they lost in that AFC North championship game at the end of the year, Week 18. Uh, and instantly, everyone knew, oh, this man's going to get hired immediately. And guess what? He was hired
he did.
today officially by the New York Football Giants. Now, Miles is not here. He went to go get food. He's going to
No.
be back very soon. But I'm sure he's very, very excited about this. He was, in the running to get hired literally everywhere. Every team wanted him. He took one meeting. He went to one team, the New York Giants, and instantly signed with them. Pretty big contract as well. I think 20 million, 25 million,
Five
which
Well,
years,
is
right?
I'm sure he
not
went
sure.
to more than one meeting. He only went to one, like, reported on meeting,
Yeah, yeah,
or in person. But I'm sure he met and talked with all of the GMs that were
yeah,
interested in him,
yeah, yeah, probably.
including the Dolphins, which I'm extremely mad we didn't get him because he
Yeah.
would have been great to have.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. I think so too. It's a little disappointing, but I think it's interesting to see because you have coaches that are out, like they get fired and then they come back and they don't actually play as well, do as well. Maybe it's because it's a different team, different scenery. For example, Pete Carroll, I know he's a lot older, but he was a great coach, comes back and gets fired 1 year for with the Raiders after winning what he won 3 games, like whatever. So it doesn't always work. And but I think the Giants have a really good setup. They have a great defense. They have a nice young quarterback who's still developing. They got Scadaboo in there. They got Malik Neighbors, who, he played what, 1 game this year before he got injured. So I
Yeah.
think the Giants have a lot of good
They have
things going
Jackson
for
Dart,
them.
Abdul Carter, like you said, a really good
Yeah.
defense.
And
They
a
got
high
pieces,
draft pick.
man.
And another high draft pick. So this team could really be something special if they have a good coach, and maybe Harbaugh will do that for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys want to touch anything else with Harbaugh, but
Yeah, I mean, look,
Just that I'm a little
th-
upset he didn't come to the Dolphins.
yeah,
yeah.
Other than that,
I'm upset about that too. But really, this wasn't teams searching for the head coach. This was him searching for the team. I mean, let's be
Hmm.
honest. This is very one-sided. He knows
Yeah.
himself that he is the best head coach right now in the head coaching market that is available. Uh, and he can do whatever he wants, and teams will pay him however much he wants. And I think the Giants I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move. I think they have good assets, and they're doing well in cap space as well. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. I do want to note though that no coach after getting fired and rehired as a head coach has ever won a playoff game.
Wow. Interesting. I
So
did not know that.
are we gonna
is that
see that?
stat true? Can we double check that?
Yeah, I saw it today, and if that's
I don't
true,
think that's true. What about Andy Reid, bro?
it might have been that or Super Bowl. Well, was you see,
All
it might have been that or Super Bowl. I don't exactly remember, but
is
um,
it coach who's won the Super Bowl and then got
no,
fired
no,
and then
no, no, no,
rehired? Because Andy Reid was the head coach of the Eagles. I don't think he won it with the Eagles,
no,
and
but
then
he wasn't fired with the Eagles.
yeah, yes, he was, wasn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't think he
Uh,
was fired with the Eagles.
yeah, I mean, I'll search it up right now, but he was with the yeah, so he got sorry, I'm just looking at this right now.
Or it might have been a head coach. You see, it was something. I wish I saved that article because it was really intriguing to read.
Yeah, they
As
fired
a
him.
okay,
It maybe use some other caveats to that, but anyways, I mean, it is going to be interesting to see what Harbaugh does with the Giants. I think they got,
yeah,
like I said, a good foundation, so um, that should be an interesting storyline to watch for next year. And then also, in my opinion, something even crazier, which is more just insane. Like I guess the writing was on the wall, but still crazy to think about. Mike Tomlin not being the coach anymore for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has decided to resign after 18 years, 1 year more than John Harbaugh. They were the two longest tenured coaches in the NFL. I believe actually the longest tenured coach in any North American sport, if that's correct. I'm pretty sure I remember
now
saying
the
that.
longest tenured head
Uh,
coach in any American sport is Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, so that's pretty neat. But Tomlin was there. He was hired as a young guy, 30 something years old, wins the Super Bowl. in '08, and ever since then, I mean, the last time they won a playoff game was a long time ago, 2016. Unfortunately, that was against the Dolphins. But yeah, I mean, since 2016, almost 9 seasons, I think.
They
He
still keep going to the playoffs every year.
I know.
And
Never had a losing season. Record to start your career, most consecutive seasons to start your career without a losing record. Mike Tomlin has that. And more interesting is the fact that the Steelers have only had 3 head coaches since the 60s. It was Noel, and then Cowher, and now Tomlin. So it's going to be really like whoever they hire now is going to have huge shoes to fill because
implications.
Steelers have such a storied history with having great head coaches that last a very, very long time. So definitely the end of an era there in Pittsburgh. We got to see what happens
I'm
with
sure
Aaron
they're going to do a
Rodgers.
very extensive coaching search.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. And the team has question marks too because Rodgers probably is going to retire. Cam Hayward, who knows, maybe his decision changes now. Maybe he'll retire sooner without Tomlin being there. TJ Watt. I mean, Tomlin held a lot of these people together. I don't know if these players are going to want out or see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But yeah.
Yeah, man, I do gotta say, the internet bullied this guy, bro. They bullied this guy into retirement. Really sad, honestly, really sad. But
I don't think that's true. There's no way.
I think it's true, but
You think Mike Tomlin looks at the internet? You think he cares what the internet says? I don't believe that.
deep down, yeah,
No,
I think so.
I don't think that either. But I think he definitely thought that like there was just nothing else left for him, and I mean, which is why he resigned.
Yeah.
And he didn't get fired, which is a big difference. Him resigning means that the Steelers still have the rights to him. So it's already been announced. Unlike Harbaugh, he is not going to coach next season. Because any
Well,
team
he said he doesn't
that
want to coach at all anymore.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
What's been reported is that he wants to go into the media.
Yes, I did see that as well. I have a feeling though that he's probably going to want to come back eventually. Just if it happens within the next 2 or 3 years or whatever his contract is, the team is going to have to trade for him like Sean Payton did when he went to Denver. So it's definitely going to be harder for him to get back into the NFL if he even wants to do that in the first place. But yeah, I mean, I think Pittsburgh people will appreciate him, but it is weird him not being there. And funnily enough, AFC North, Pittsburgh fires Mike Tomlin. Ravens fire John Harbaugh, 2 of the best coaches in the league. The Browns, they fire Kevin Stefanski. The only team in the entire division that keeps their head coach is Zach Taylor, who arguably is the worst coach in the division. So I think that's pretty funny. And the Bengals.
I think that guy's got one more year under his belt if they don't
I agree.
win a
I'm
play.
surprised
If
they
they
didn't
don't make
fire
the
him now.
playoffs. Well, I mean, who are you gonna hire, bro? I mean, might as well keep him. Like at this rate,
anybody's better than him. Look at all the candidates. I feel like there's a lot of good people out there.
I would disagree, but sure.
You disagree, really?
Yeah.
I think like okay, first of all, do you think Stefanski's better than Zach Taylor? I don't think Stefanski's really that great, but
I think
probably better than
Stefanski's
him.
better than Zach Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. That's
I
one.
think Stefanski's actually a decent coach.
So then there you go. He's already better than him.
Yeah, but I feel like you can't consider this year for the Bengals due to all the injuries that they underwent. That I don't know. I kind of just feel like this is kind of like this weird year of what happened. And
The Bengals got to get rid of the coach. Come on now. They got to complete the trifecta.
Yeah.
I mean,
the quad.
we could see it. You never
All
know.
of
We could
them.
see it, but
Yeah, I think you're right though, Mark. I think it'd probably be next year because they already said it's not going to happen this year, which whatever. That's their decision. But yeah. So that's it with the head coaches.
the state
Dolphins-
of Ohio in shambles.
Yeah. The Dolphins also are looking for a head coach. There's a couple good options out there. I don't know if you guys want to discuss that for a little bit, who we should hire. I personally don't even know. I couldn't tell you. Jeff Hafley, DC for the Packers, is in there. Obviously, now that since we have the Packers, like our GM was with the Packers, that's a possibility. Chris Shula, the DC for the Rams, obviously Shula. I don't know if he's good, but it'd be cool.
I think Shula would be. I've read a little bit about Shula. I think he would
honestly like
a good choice.
Of them. I don't want Robert Saleh.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Robert Saleh just interviewed today with the Dolphins, so I don't want that to happen either.
Away from the building.
Jesse Minter as well.
Interview him?
Jesse Minter is the DC for the Chargers. I'm pretty sure he's solid. Which the Dolphins just interviewed him today as well. And then the other guy is Kevin Stefanski, which we already talked about. I don't want Kevin Stefanski. I'm sorry.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want a defensive-minded head coach, bro.
I don't mind it. I
I
don't
don't.
mind it.
I
I don't
really,
really, honestly,
I don't.
I don't care who, like, I don't care who, because we got Brian Flores, and he was too extreme, like, he was too hard on everybody, like, too much of a mean guy, defensive minded, all this stuff. He was bad. Then we got Mike McDaniel, the complete opposite, Mr. Nice Guy, offense, cool, woo woo, everyone's happy, blah blah blah. That didn't work. I don't care if he's an offensive guy or a defensive guy. I don't know, like, no one knows. We could hire some offensive guy who's turns out to be the best head coach of all time, or see some defensive guy that turns out to be like that. Like, I couldn't tell you.
I have a feeling that
Well,
the
the best
Miami
head coach of
Dolphins.
all time is defensive minded. So
Yeah, that's true.
Who's the best head coach of all time?
Yeah, we're gonna get into this argument.
No, I'm actually curious. Who's the
Don
best?
Shula.
it's the one with the Riz, the one pulling the
Mr.
20-year-olds.
Belichick,
Wow,
best head coach of all time,
Belly
Tech?
Boy. Yeah,
Big
probably.
belly?
Unfortunately, I would admit that. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
we'll see what happens. Probably the next couple
I think we're
episodes
gonna
of the pod, we
hire
will
whatever
announce the next head coach.
I think the Miami Dolphins are gonna hire a coach who was a previous head coach. I don't think we're going DC or OC. I'm just
But so it'd
yeah.
I
either be
think if we
Sala
would,
or Stefanski. That's not. I don't
no,
Yeah.
like
no,
that.
no, no, no. I think if we couldn't get Harbaugh, we gotta hire a DC, bro.
Yeah, I agree. But
I
like I
think
said,
we're
I don't know.
I think it's gonna be Stefanski.
All right, we'll
That's what I
see if
think.
that happens.
And I
All right,
think he's a decent coach, so I wouldn't mind it.
okay. We'll see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the NFL. All right, we were talking about the NFL, but now we're gonna get to the real juicy stuff, right? The NFL playoffs. Wild card weekend has already gone and went. We did not film an episode because we were busy, like Mark already said, shooting 7 under. But a lot of interesting games happened. We don't need to go over all of them, but you can go over them when we pull up the bracket. We're gonna pick the divisional round and on, like we did last year and the year before that. And we're gonna choose eventually who you think is gonna win the Super Bowl. So I have the same website. Shout out to Playtronics. Love the website. It's very easy to use. You know, it's get it right Saturday night staple now in the month of January. Oscar, we're gonna start off with you. All right. So no pressure, but here we go. You're gonna pick who you think is gonna win every remaining round of the NFL playoffs. Here we go. Start us off.
Okay, Bills. I'm gonna start in the AFC. Bills,
Yeah.
Broncos. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what have we said all year long on the pod? The Broncos. We love a Broncos country. Let's ride. But the Broncos. Let's be real here. They're
Broncos
the
country.
most.
Let's ride.
But the Broncos. They're the most fraudulent team in the NFL. The sorriest 1 seed you've ever
Oh
seen.
man, oh
And
man.
as much as I hate the Bills because they're the Buffalo Bills and they're in our division, you see Josh Allen, that grown man, just running the ball down, and you can't help but get a little bit excited. And then you hate again, but you get a little bit excited. So give me the Bills.
Bills in the AFC
Now,
Championship game.
a very controversial team, the New England Patriots versus the Texas defense in your face. Okay, who are we gonna go for here?
Mm-hmm.
The thing about the Patriots that you got to keep in mind that's very interesting is they've been kind of aligned with the Broncos for most of the year. You know, everybody's been saying, you know, they have the most Mickey Mouse schedule in the league. You know, they've only beaten or they've mainly beaten on teams well below 500. You know, I think 12 of their wins came from teams below 500.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And for the thing is, however, the Texans, um, they they've kind of been shooting themselves in the foot the last few games. I mean, I don't know if you saw that game with the Steelers, but their offense couldn't get anything rolling. However, I think this is not the Patriots year. I think the Texans defense somehow finds a way to get this W, and I think this game is going to be 10-6.
Wow.
And the Texans are gonna win.
Dang. All
It's gonna
right.
be a
All right.
it's gonna be a defensive disaster class. Now,
Interesting.
Bills Texans. I think the Texans run out of luck, and if the Bills get into the conference championship game, there's no Patty Mahomes. They're gonna get the
No.
W.
Oh no. I don't like that, man. Don't do that.
I know. But the thing is, I just don't trust the Texans' offense. I love their
Mm,
defense. Their defense is incredible, but
yeah,
their offense has been so fluky.
I agree.
Fret not, Colin. I think I'll make you happy at the end.
Yes.
Now, let's go to the NFC, the division that actually matters this year, okay? The AFC is just, they get the participation trophy this year, okay? Because everybody knows that the Super Bowl winner is going to come out of the NFC this year, okay? The AFC was a joke
The
this year.
NFC West specifically. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start with the Niners Seahawks, all right?
All right. All right. Third
This
matchup
is
of the
going to
year.
be This is going to be a great game. Beautiful game. It's going to be great. It's going to be back and forth, I think, especially in the third quarter, fourth quarter. However, I think the Seahawks pull through, and this game is going to be an absolute wonderful appetizer for the NFC Championship games, where the Chicago Bears host the Rams in the other game, and Chicago's got a little bit of momentum now. You know, their team, they're an up and coming team. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit scared. I don't think I would have ever said this in my life if you told me this like 3 years ago. But I'm, I'm
You told me this
scared.
2 months ago.
I know. I'm scared for the Bears going forward, like in the next few years, because Caleb Williams looks like he's the real deal, and it looks like that number one pick paid off. And their defense, man, they got some ball players. All right. However, the Rams, when healthy, and boy, did they get healthy at the right time, they look like the best team in the NFL. All right. Matthew Stafford, I don't know what sort of, kombucha, Hindu weird drinks and potions they got out in LA that's keeping this man in the prime of his career at the ripe old age that he is. He looks like he's 27 out there. But give me the goddamn Rams, all right? When they got Puka and Adams healthy with their defense, we're going to get an incredible rematch of the best game of the regular season for the NFC Championship game, which
Wow.
really should be the Super Bowl. Like, just have Bad Bunny play at halftime in this game, all right? This is the really going to be the best game of the year, all right? The Bills give them the participation trophy, but I think in the end, the Rams are going to get revenge and they're going to squeak out a
Wow.
win. And we're going to have a Rams Bills Super Bowl with the Rams winning, and this will cement Matthew Stafford into the Hall of Fame. I'm calling it here now, folks.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Clip it,
Wow.
guys. Clip it. You have Oscar's Super Bowl prediction, the Los Angeles Rams. Wow. Great job. Great stuff there. Great insight. Now, all right, we're gonna keep this receipt. We gotta come back here in a couple weeks, next week, we'll see what goes on. But Mark Francis, now's your time to say your piece.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's let's start out on the AFC. All right.
All right.
And I'm not going to start off with Broncos and Bills. I'm going to start off with the Texans and the Patriots. All right. I think the Patriots are going to win this game barely. Mike Vrabel
Mm-hmm.
6-1 versus the Texans as the head coach. I think that continues. I think he goes 7-1. I don't really think yeah,
Even when most of those wins came when he was at Tennessee.
well, all of those wins came when he was at Tennessee. So, I'm just saying. I'm putting that out there. And then, you know, the Bills versus the Broncos, right? We saw the Bills struggle against the best run defense in the league. They struggled against the best run defense in the league. What happened? The Jags folded. They did. Plain and simple, they folded. They could have won that game easily. Now they're playing a more well-rounded defense that has elite pass defense and a pass rush. And honestly, I do not think the Bills are gonna win this game. I do not. I get it. Everyone's saying, oh, the Broncos, oh, blah blah blah. They're barely winning games. This and that. Yeah, they're barely winning games because they barely got a score because their boys' defense is elite. Elite defense wins championships. All right, hear me out now.
This 2015 up in here.
Let's 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 go
Yeah,
to
except
the
they don't have Peyton Manning at quarterback. They have Bo Nix.
Or
yeah.
Tom Brady.
Well, no, do you have Tom Brady? Battle of the new gen. Now, let's go to the 49ers and the Seahawks, right? Last
Hmm.
game of the regular season, 49ers Seahawks. Eh, 49ers Seahawks, and man, did the Seahawks take a beating, bro. 3 points. 3 points scored. The 49ers took a beating. Seahawks 14, right? Now the 49ers are going into a game without their star tight end and without Fred Warner being activated. Plain and simple. I think what their coach has done this year, incredible. I think what the team has done this year, well round. I mean, incredible, incredible. Coach of the year. Losing to the Seahawks. I mean, it's not even a question. So Seahawks are moving on to the conference championship, and then a controversial game here with the Rams and the Bears. We're seeing a Rams team which, yeah, is getting healthy, but they're not getting hot. They're not. They're not getting hot. We're seeing a Chicago team that is hot at the right moment. We're seeing a Chicago team which is blessed by the Pope of Rome. He's blessing this team.
Now that's not wrong. I
Now,
can't even hate on that.
look, what I'm gonna say, and this is a hot take. It's a hot take.
Just say it, Mark. We all
The
know what you're
Bears
gonna
are winning this game.
do. Oh my god.
Game-winning field
Wow.
goal.
Ooh.
Rams are gonna choke this somehow, and the Bears are gonna come back. That's my prediction.
Wow.
That's what I think will happen. Okay.
Good
Wow.
stuff.
All right.
Well,
Moving into the AFC conference, right? Broncos and Patriots. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. Not a great matchup. Everyone would love the Bills to be in here, right? You kind of have two defensively kind of ish teams, and you have a Patriots team which is kind of whack. Battle of the frauds, I guess. Is this like this? This is an accountant's worst nightmare. Battle of fraud. I mean, let's be honest. Two kind of it's just kind of mid teams, bro. But the Broncos are gonna win it. The Broncos are going to the bowl. The Broncos are riding to the bowl, right?
Broncos country, let's ride.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Broncos
Okay,
country, let's
That's
ride.
bad.
let's ride.
Yep.
NFC Conference Championship game, which people are gonna think is gonna be boring, but bro, this is gonna be a shootout. Are you kidding? This is going to be a shootout. It's going to be incredible. This could be the highest scoring game in the NFL, honestly, because we're seeing two teams that love to throw the ball, just love to throw the ball, and two coaches that are just like absolutely determined to win. And unfortunately, I think that Chicago Bear fairy tale comes to an end in the NFC Championship game. Chicago,
bro, this
I'm sorry.
2013 for real.
I'm sorry.
Oh
The
my God.
NFL would love this.
Oh,
By the way, the
oh,
ratings
well,
would go
well,
crazy.
everyone's gonna love this. Everyone's gonna love this.
I don't know about
because
everybody, but
We've seen this matchup before, and I'm gonna be honest. As much as I love my Broncos, brother, them Seahawks are winning the
Different
bowl.
year, same story.
The Seahawks are the best team in the
Wow.
NFL right now. The best team in the NFL. By far.
Sam Darnold wins a Super Bowl?
Sam
Before
Darnold
Josh
wins a
Allen?
Super Bowl. I think so. I do.
Wow.
I do think so. Look, I'm gonna take risk here. I'm gonna take risks because in life you gotta take risks. Like Jamin Diamond told me, you gotta take risks. That's why I'm investing early. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be rich. I think the Seahawks win the Super Bowl.
you're not going to be able to win. We said it last year or 2 years ago. Actually, it was 2 years ago on the pod. You can't win with Sam Darnold as your quarterback. All right.
I don't think so, brother. I
Roll
think
the clip, Colin. All right. We have it in the archives.
I'm sure we've said that, yeah.
All right. You can win a playoff game. I even think they're going to get to the NFC Championship game. I mean, I predicted them to. But come time to it, this has always been a quarterback's league. And when that pressure is the highest and the lights are the brightest, you need a quarterback to come through in the clutch for you.
Well, is Bo Nix gonna be able to do that? I don't know. Is Sam Darnold gonna be able to do that? I don't know. But if this is what I predict to be the playoff, right? And it's kind of ironic because it's both the number one seeds, but they're number one for a reason. Because you can win games. This isn't the NBA. This isn't game 7. Best out of 7. This is you win or you go home. And these teams have been capable of winning incredibly well. That's why I think this is going to happen. That's what I think.
The Seahawks, I agree.
Denver will
They've
be
been able to
electric.
win
I mean,
incredibly
look,
well.
I'll say
But
this myself. If the Broncos are in the Super Bowl and, I'm here in Colorado in Denver, man, if they win, this city's going to be, I mean, I could see us getting a school off, honestly.
yeah,
I
you're
mean,
gonna go. You're
I
gonna go
have,
to La Carreta.
dude,
You're
no,
gonna go to the
bro.
parade?
But I'll go to the parade 100%. I mean, shoot, I got an exam that week after in economics. They probably canceled that too, bro. Let's be honest. Broncos
Well,
country,
I already
let's
got
ride.
class canceled on Tuesday, so I'm good to go.
But
All right.
this is what I think. I think this is hot take. I could be incredibly wrong, honestly. I see myself being incredibly wrong. I can see myself being 100% right. This is what I think is gonna happen.
All
You
I'll
right.
know,
see
All
you
right.
Market.
guys
That's
then.
why I love you. You always bring the entertainment to the podcast.
Oh, that's the name of the game, bro. We're in the entertainment industry.
Very true. Very true. All right, Mark, we'll put yours off to the side. I'm gonna go ahead here. I'm not gonna lie, as you guys were talking, I'm like still trying to figure out what I'm even gonna say because I don't know who I'm gonna pick to win the Super Bowl. I don't think any of these teams are Super Bowl caliber teams right now. So, all right, let's see what. First of all, I'm not even gonna say anything. Yeah, the Bills and the Patriots, I just don't like them, so they're out. All right, they're gonna
Yeah,
lose.
I knew
The
that was gonna happen, bro. I mean, it's pretty
Yeah,
obvious.
let's just get that out of the way.
I
So
knew this
so look,
guy, man. You'll dog
the
on anybody in the AFC East, which isn't us.
yeah,
Like,
I
it's,
will. Uh-huh. You're right. You're right. Look, the Broncos, I call them the what? My Miles is here. What's up? You disagree with this? He disagrees with my picks. Look, these picks are great picks. Look, here's why.
Show him my picks. He'll like my picks.
Okay. He'll see them afterwards. I'll call him over. But look, Bills, all right, let's be real. They almost lost to the Jaguars. Did they lose? No, they didn't lose because they have Josh Allen, but they almost lost. All right, so they're not that good. Then the Broncos, I call them the biggest frauds of all time. All right, I get that. I get that. But their defense is really good, and I feel like, in the playoffs, Josh Allen gets a little flustered by good defenses, as we've seen with the Chiefs in the past. And I think the Broncos are going to win. They're at home. They got that altitude. They got those
so
fans going crazy.
Empower Field, baby.
Yeah.
Hype me up. I want to go to the game
I
so
just
bad.
Well,
now let's be.
Colin, I don't know about getting flustered. Every time he played a game against the Chiefs, it's a freaking shootout, man.
It's not a shootout. It's definitely close. It's close games. But look, I just think that the Broncos are gonna win. All right, that's just that. I'm a little biased, fine, but that's what I think is gonna happen. And then the Texans and the Patriots. Let's be real, all right. The Texans defense is just gonna. They're just gonna destroy Drake May. We saw what Drake May was struggling heavy against the Chargers. That final score is not indicative of the game. They could not score to save their lives, and that's against the Chargers. Now they're playing the Texans. Come on now, this gonna be too easy. C.J. Stroud, like you said, Oscar, horrible. He's been playing really bad. Texans offense is garbage, and now I think they lost Nico Collins. The Texans can't score,
Nico
and the
Collins
Patriots
is
defense
gone.
is good.
Unfortunate.
Very
That's
unfortunate.
right. He
But
was gone in my fantasy team the whole year too. So who cares?
I
drafting
think
that guy
Texans
again.
defense is going to propel them. And like Mark said, defense wins championships. So I got the two best defenses winning the games. Great. There
All
you
right,
go.
go
Now
for
in
it.
the NFC. The NFC, this is where I'm struggling a little. Actually, no. Do I Yeah, no, I'm gonna jump over to the NFC. The NFC, I'm struggling a little bit, all right? So I really man, I honestly I could probably make my picks right now and get both of them wrong. I'm 100% aware that that's probably what's gonna happen. But Niners Seahawks, I'm gonna go with I'm going with the 49ers. I was gonna pick the Seahawks this entire time, but then I remembered about Sam Darnold and I changed my mind. I'm sorry, I think he's a good player, but now he's questionable with an injury. Is that gonna affect him? I mean, look, the Niners are a crazy story, but I just find it hard to believe that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll change it, but for now we're gonna go with the 49ers. And then the Rams and the Bears. See, I'm sorry. I feel like every year I'm really high on the Rams. Like 99 out of 100 times I'm picking the Rams in this game. I think their team is special. However, recently, last couple games of the regular season and against the Panthers, they were struggling heavy. They were not doing very well. Their defense used to be really good. The Panthers scored 30 points against them. I do not trust them as much as I did before. Are the Rams probably still going to win? Yeah. Are the Bears like always fumble? Yeah. I don't care. Give me the Chicago
Colin, I think
Bears.
you're forgetting the Bears didn't win that game. The Packers lost.
I
I
agree.
disagree.
I I
I
I think
disagree
okay, I agree with both of you. I
entirely.
think the Packers fumbled and the Bears also stepped up at the same time. I think both can be
We
true.
saw an incredible performance out of the Bears defense and the Bears offense. Incredible.
At
Yeah,
the
man.
end.
In
At
the
the
end,
end.
they
The
they
Bears will give you a
flipped
heart attack now.
they flipped the switch. They flipped the switch.
I
It was,
think
I mean,
that
look, the year the Jubilee just ended, so like I'm just saying, it's been a whole year. They're keeping it up.
so night okay. So look, is the NFC Championship game probably going to be Seahawks versus Rams? Yeah, probably. But, Oscar already picked that, so I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to take some liberties with my decisions here, right?
Some
Colin,
This is
creative
Colin, being
liberties.
yes.
being a finance major himself, taking risk. Good job. Good job,
Yeah,
Colin.
yeah.
I'm very
Thanks. Thank
proud.
you. Thank you. All
His
right.
professors wouldn't be.
Ye- Yeah, we'll see what I still don't know what I'm gonna pick, just so you know. You guys are gonna find out at the same time I do. So, AFC now, Texans Broncos in the conference championship game. All right. The Broncos and the Texans offense are both equally not impressive. And the Texans and Broncos defense are equally impressive. But I think I'm gonna go. Dude, this is really weird. I'm doing a complete 180 because I said the Broncos are the most fraudulent team of all time. Nah, this is crazy, bro. I can't even believe that I'm doing this, but I'm like not even. I don't know
Play,
why,
play
but
the audio,
Broncos are.
bro. Just play the audio. Just
Let's ride.
let's
Broncos country.
What do you think?
Let's
Miles
ride.
is here.
let's
What do I
ride.
think?
Broncos
Yeah.
country.
Look,
There's no way the
Let's
Broncos make the Super Bowl.
the
flip it.
Broncos
That's what
are
I'm
going
saying.
to the Super
I
Bowl.
actually
Riding
back
to the
Chicago.
bowl. It's
He
been a
backs
thing
Chicago though.
since
The winner
since
of the Rams
I've
or
gotten here,
Chicago
bro.
will
Winner
win the
of
Super Bowl.
Rams Chicago is winning the Super Bowl. That's according to Miles. Look, I think I see if Marco watches this, he's gonna laugh at me because I've been telling him all the time how I think the Broncos are frauds, and he's actually sent me clips of people also saying the Broncos are frauds. It's been this joke between the two of us now, and for some weird reason, I have the Broncos going to the Super Bowl. Now, are the Broncos probably gonna lose to the Bills? Probably, but Broncos going to the bowl. All right, and then in the NFC, the National Football Conference, we have the 49ers and we have the Chicago Bears. And
The
I'm sorry,
Bears.
the line stops here. I cannot do this. The 49ers are going to the Super Bowl, and we have 49ers Broncos in the Super Bowl. All right.
At
Now,
home, by the way. 49ers at home.
40 I didn't even think about that. 49ers at
Think about
home.
that.
They got extra
With
motivation. See,
Fred
now I'm
Warner
liking these
back. Just keep in
picks.
mind, Fred Warner will be back. I see. That's
Probably.
why I was
He'll
tempted to
probably
take the
be back.
49ers.
Hey,
But
I know Oscar's
you
real
can't look
disappointed
too
in me
much
right
in the
now,
future because you gotta live in the present.
look, Oscar, let me look at Oscar.
Gatorade.
Look,
Gatorade.
All of Oscar's picks are like the most, like, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. I had to be different. I'm sorry. Like,
Hey, I was different myself. Man, get the flip out of here, bro.
true. That's true. I don't know, man. I don't like what I'm doing right now, but this is just where my mind is going right now. I will probably watch this back in a couple days and think, why the heck did I do that? But for now, that's what I'm going with. So,
Colin, you know I
Super Bowl.
respect you a lot, bro. I'm proud of you, dude.
Wow,
2026,
thanks,
man.
man.
You're just taking. You're gonna be
Yeah,
such
I'm
a
going
great
crazy.
intern. Oh man,
This
JP
is
Morgan
not going to end
Chase.
well. This
Just,
is going to
just
age really poorly. We're going to look
JP
back at
Morgan
this in a
Chase,
couple months
hire
and,
this
oh man.
man immediately.
Okay.
He will make
Super
you
Bowl. Hold on,
millions.
Mark. Let me make my pick, please. Thank you.
Okay,
Oh
Enough
my
said.
god! At least it's not the Broncos. Put it the Super Bowl.
I can't put the Broncos to the Super Bowl, bro. I can't. Look, the 49ers got all the good mojo. They shouldn't even be here. This team has nobody. But for some reason, first of all, Kyle Shanahan is a lock to win Coach of the Year. All right, that's what's already
he's
gonna
the
happen.
greatest
So forget
coach
that.
we've seen in NFL history.
So that's what's gonna happen with that. Brock Purdy, he's gonna have a second crack at the Super Bowl. I really like that. I can't see Bo Nix winning the Super Bowl in only his second year. All right, and just the 49ers just have that allure. I like what they're doing there. They beat the Eagles. They're off to a great start. And
Well,
yeah,
the
this
Eagles
is
kind of beat
100% gonna.
themselves. Let's be
Mark,
honest there.
I know. I'm just that. I highly disagree with that.
I'm
But
just saying.
look, this is wrong. Take a screenshot of this. It's 100% wrong. But I'm feeling extra creative today, so
Guys,
that's what I'm
if
gonna
you
go
go
with.
on Kalshi right now and bet what Colin bets, you're gonna make so much money because Colin knows ball, and he's probably right. And he
Mm,
thinks he's wrong because
I don't even think I'm
Colin's
right.
a
So,
humble young boy. You know, Colin, he is. He's a
oh
humble young
brother.
boy. He drops triple doubles in the Santa Slam, and he's not the best player. You know, Colin plays
Whoa,
absolutely
whoa, whoa,
insane
wait,
in golf.
what do you, I'm not the best player. I'm sorry. What do you mean? Right? What are we talking about?
Yeah, Colin says he's not the best player compared to Mason. He is.
Yeah,
Col-
Mason was the
Colin,
best player in the
Colin,
tennis slam.
Colin,
True, that's true.
Colin,
Mason is the best player.
Colin thinks that he's not good at golf, and then he goes out casually in suits in the '80s.
All right,
Guys,
Mark, I appreciate
Colin's
it, but
too
let's let.
humble.
Oh.
We need to glaze Colin more. I'm just saying.
All right, so let's go into our picks now. I'm gonna like show everyone,
This guy
what
just
we all.
muted me. What?
All right, you're getting muted. Sorry. Okay, so
This is
these are.
against my First Amendment rights.
Thank you. All right. First off, we're gonna review our predictions. Oscar, he's got the Bills and he's got the Rams in the Super Bowl, and he's got the Rams winning it all. Then we got Mark Francis. Where's Mark Francis? Mark Francis is here. Mark Francis has the Seahawks and the Broncos in the Super Bowl,
Let's
and
ride.
he's got the Bronco. Or sorry, I'm an idiot. You got the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl, and then last but not least, my pitiful picks. I got the 49ers winning the Super Bowl.
And
I'm
just
still not,
because of this, some AFC team is gonna go on an absolute Cinderella run and win the Super Bowl. There you go. You heard it here.
That's true.
Yeah,
Um,
probably.
yeah. All right. Well, that's that. We'll see what happens. I think this week's divisional round games are going to be very interesting. And above all else, to be honest, I don't care who wins the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter.
You know,
As long as it's not the Bills or the Patriots. Okay.
I was
That's
just
it.
looking at
Everyone else,
the
do your
tickets.
job, and we'll be fine.
I was just looking at the tickets for the AFC divisional game here in Empower Field at Mile High State at Mile High. They're actually cheaper than some of the regular season tickets I've seen. They're $380, which is kind of ironic. Perhaps I shall indulge on Saturday myself.
Yeah, vlog it. Go and vlog it.
Perhaps. I gotta see.
All right. Last but not least, the moment we've all been waiting for.
Oh man.
Oscar, you will have the floor on this, and we will not speak until we are spoken to. There you
You
go.
will not speak until you tell us to.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an absolute crazy Monday night game on January 19th for the College Football National Championship, which the Get It Right Saturday Night podcast will be at live in Truly Yours Yourself. I have a ticket to the game. $0. Wow. I am absolutely stunned. Did I think we would get here? Obviously, I did, as I said in our prediction podcast.
Sure, bud, sure. Let's pull up the
Obviously-
receipts real quick.
Yes,
Okay, buddy.
As I was about to say, as we have in our prediction podcast, I had to go along with the boys, but after every prediction I made, what did I say? The Canes are going to the Natty. The Canes are going to the Natty. The Canes are going to the Natty. And here we are. 3 weeks later, yours truly got it right. Now, in all honesty, did I think we were going to the Natty? Probably not. But here we are, nonetheless. And we are up against the Indiana Hoosiers, who I thought even less was going to the Natty, if I'm going to be very honest with you. But it's created one of the most wonderful storylines in all of college football. The once blue chip program, a blue blood powerhouse in college football, down for nearly 30 years, back, okay, on the shoulders of Mario Cristobal, a guy who's Miami himself with the college football natty in Miami, going up against the other Cuban of college football, the first Cuban Heisman winner of all time, every abuelita's favorite football player right now. This is going to be the battle of the Cubans, all right? This is going to be remembered as the Cafecito Bowl, all right?
The cup, the Cafecito
Don't get
cup.
it twisted. Columbus Nation is in absolute hoop right now, all right? They're jubilant. They are absolutely ecstatic. They don't know who to root for. Most of them are probably rooting for Miami. But I've seen debate all week long about, who's gonna win this game, where Miami stands on this game, and from what I've gathered, all the old people, the old abuelitos, the old Cubans, they're rooting for Indiana. The younger generation, they're rooting for Miami. So I'm gonna be at the game. Obviously, I want my Hurricanes to win, but either way, I'm gonna be honest with you, gentlemen. I'm happy with this season, and I'm just praying we don't embarrass ourselves.
I
That
never
is the
thought
And
I would.
honestly,
stupidest thing you
I
have ever said in your entire life, Oscar. What? You don't
I think
care? What are you
I
What?
well, no, that's not what
Dude,
I. Okay,
you
I
were
think
gonna
you
make me
misunderstood,
cry, and then you
Colin.
said a atrocity like that, and you just lost
Look,
all aura.
look, look. You're
Here,
not
dude. Here
understanding.
you go. Here,
No, I'm
here's the
not.
I said, look,
participation medal.
look,
Take it.
look,
This is what
look.
you're saying.
That's not what I. No. You guys completely
No,
misunderstood.
please
I
explain
said the
yourself,
whole time.
please.
I want them to win. I'm gonna be there cheering them on. I think we can win. Actually, I think Indiana hasn't seen a team like us on the defensive, like in the trenches, like on the defensive and offensive front. That's been what's been carrying us through this playoffs. I think Ruben Bain and Mesidor are going to be very dangerous. Their right tackle, I believe, is not a particularly good player. And another thing that goes against them as well in this specific matchup is Mendoza likes to hold the ball. All right, his average time to throw is a lot slower than any of the quarterbacks we've faced so far in the playoffs, which is good for our pass rush. I think we match up pretty well against them. Okay, obviously Indiana's favored, and they're favored for a good reason. So I'm not gonna act like I can't see us not winning. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see us losing. Do I think we're gonna lose? No, I actually think we're gonna win, and I'm going to that game expecting a Canes W, and then I control all of you for the next 6 or 7 years. Actually, probably a lot more, because UF ain't winning a natty, and I know goddamn well FSU ain't winning a natty. So all of y'all can't tell me shit.
Hey,
All
but
right,
them Ore Diggers gonna be back though. Yes.
all right, Mark. I'll leave you off to the side where you belong. But
Oh.
look, the Canes are here, and I think they're here to stay. Mario is an incredible recruiter. Everybody in the state of Florida, and we all know the state of Florida is the best state when it comes to youth football. All right. Everybody recruits out of Florida, Alabama, Ohio State. Case in point, Jeremiah Smith said he would have gone to Miami if we looked like we do right now when he was getting recruited. So I think it's scary hours, especially if we get this win in the Natty. I think the U is back, baby, and we're here to stay for another good run. All right, and I can't wait to see it all.
I
You know,
I
that was an incredible show for the first minute. I mean, I was just, the emotions were starting to hit me.
Oscar, I still can't get over the fact that you said it's okay if they lose. What kind of what kind of a fan is this? What are we doing?
It's not. I mean, look. The thing is, I'm still a fan. I'm gonna respect that team for everything they did for me this year. All right. I didn't expect them to get to the Natty, and here they are. So I'm gonna show them the respect they deserve. I'm not gonna hate on them for losing in the Natty if they play a good game. All right. They're still gonna have my support. That's what
Well,
I meant by
yeah,
that.
of course, but you're not gonna be sad if they will lose. What? I don't.
Obviously, I'm gonna be sad, especially if we play a good game. We were this close to winning the Natty. I think you're misinterpreting what my message was there.
Yeah,
I'm saying that
probably.
I'm proud of this team either way, no matter what
Okay.
the result is.
Okay. I get that. I get that. That's cool. I God, I want Indiana to win so bad. I can't have you talking about this for more than the next week, dude. Uh, wow, okay. So I think Indiana is by far and away not even close the best team in college football, and it's not even close. Now the problem is that the best team does not always actually win. So I think it's going to be a very close game. I think Miami is I think Indiana's favored by like 8 points or
Eight,
something
eight and a
crazy
half,
like
Yeah,
that.
8.5 is the
There,
spread.
which is
there's no way. It's gonna be
crazy.
way closer.
It's
Miami's gonna
crazy.
make it a really good game, and if Miami wins, sadly, I will not be surprised.
Hey,
But
pack the rock. It's an asylum in there, like Coach Cristobal said. All right, that place is gonna be buzzing.
Okay, this kind of brings up another point that we don't have to get into if you don't want to, but do you really think there's going to be a lot of fans there? Because the tickets are so expensive. I feel like it's just going to be a bunch of rich
That's
people.
actually a very interesting point. Now, is it going to be a home game for us, like a true home game, like it was versus Notre Dame or versus Florida?
No.
Probably not, if I'm being realistic. However, I think there's going to be a much better turnout than people are expecting. You
Yeah,
know, I think, especially the media has they've covered it pretty well so far from what I've seen and from what I've heard. And Hurricane fans aren't really selling their tickets. Indiana fans are even impersonating Hurricane fans and have called into the Hurricane office asking to get tickets as season ticket holders.
oh
These are
wow.
real stories that I've heard from some of my coworkers that I used to when I used to work in the Hurricane office. So um, Indiana fans are having a hard time getting these tickets as well. And while both sides have deep pockets, come on, man, this is Miami. And when Miami shows out,
Oh
Miami shows
man.
out. All right,
When
when it's
Miami
big time
shows out,
events in Miami,
Miami's the
That's
greatest city
true.
of all time, guys. It is.
Yeah, here the only thing is though, is like there's going to be a majority of Miami fans for sure, obviously, duh. But Indiana travels pretty well. I was surprised when I was watching the
oh,
Peach Bowl
they
against
have been the
Oregon.
best traveling team
Yeah,
in the country this year,
Yeah,
and
because
that's largely due
because
to their
they've never
alumni
had
network.
they've
They
never
have
had
the
success.
largest living alumni network in the United States, over 800,000
wow,
living alumni
dang.
from the University of Indiana. All right, my professor this semester, one of my professors, got his master's and PhD, and I believe his bachelor's at Indiana University, and has been teaching at the University of Miami for nearly 20 years now.
Is
That's
he
funny.
who is he going for?
He said it's a win-win for him either way,
Cat,
but he
cat,
says he
cat.
wants the
No,
Canes to win.
no. That guy is lying. That
Yeah,
guy is
bro.
100% lying. I'm sorry to tell you.
We'll
Oh,
see.
well, yeah. Yeah, so as y'all know, my pick is Indiana. I think they're gonna win. Mendoza's very good. Their defense is very good. I think I think Ohio State was like a good comparative game. Obviously, Miami beat them by more than Indiana did, but I just think in terms of like Indiana haven't faced a good team like Miami. I think they faced Ohio State. I feel like that's the most comparable you could get to. Uh, and I just don't like. It's hard for me to imagine Indiana winning the national championship, but like it's it's like
Colin, as my friend, you're just a hater, and
yes, I am.
You said it,
100%. 100%.
you said it
100%.
best.
You saw
You said it
I
best.
didn't pick Buffalo. I didn't pick New England. I ain't picking Miami. I'm a hater. That's true.
You said it best with your first sentence that you spoke when covering this game. I don't want to hear you for more than a week after this
Yep.
game,
Yep.
Man,
and
I
which
do,
is
bro.
why
I'll never get enough of
you're
Oscar,
picking
bro.
Indiana.
Hey, if Oscar wants to talk to me about how great he is at playing golf and how much he wants to go play basketball, that's great. I don't want to hear about the Hurricanes, all right? Unless they lose. Then you can talk about them all you want. It don't matter to me. But
All right,
I
let me
yeah, go ahead,
Wow, I
Mark.
thought
let
you were
me
trash talking there
let
for a
me
second, Colin. I'm not
let me
gonna
take
lie.
the wheel
What do
here
you
for a
mean?
second.
Wait, hold on, Mark,
Actually,
Mark.
yeah, go
What
ahead.
do you mean?
Let me pause this.
What?
I thought you were trash talking my golf game and my basketball
No,
skills.
no, no. I want you to talk
I
about
know.
those
That's what I
things so we
said.
can
Oscar,
do them
you
more
are an
often.
elite golfer. Elite
No, no,
golfer.
no. Let's be for real. I've got a lot of improvement to be made in golf, but
Don't we all?
I'm a fair.
Nah, I feel like I'm pretty good.
basketball player.
I
That's true, Mark. Your putting game is exquisite.
I appreciate that. As highlighted in the Get It Right Saturday Night vlog.
and
There you go. Look at who it is.
I will
Will
always
always
love
love
you.
you. All right,
Anyway,
guys.
Except, no, it's not. That's the Strixon. I need the Strixon 4, Colin. Where's the Strixon? It's the Strixon 4.
I'm
All
sorry,
right,
I
you got the
didn't.
wrong ball.
My apologies.
All right, guys. Let me take over the wheel here for a few minutes.
Take
All
it
right.
away, Mark.
So first off, I'm gonna start off by saying, what an incredible showing by both teams. Genuinely, we've seen the underdog story with Miami, and they have been incredible. Let's be real here. If Notre Dame took that spot, they lose it in the first round. Not even a question. What I gotta say here is, Indiana, for sure, is the best team in college football. They are, by record, They are. Their coach, I really like the guy. Mendoza, such a likable person. But they're great in terms of this year. They're great in terms of what we've seen this year. In the past, this Indiana team will get rocked by anybody. Rocked. Put them up against 2019 LSU. Put them up against 2014, 2015, 2016 Alabama. Put them up against real teams that had insane quarterbacks that threw 6,000 yards, that had elite defenses that were insane. And the goal was to be number one.
Well, I don't think there's ever going to be a college team like that again,
I agree.
Mark, just because of NIL.
No, I
So-
agree. I agree. But what I see in this Miami team is determination, is a goal. I heard a clip from Mario Cristobal
We
earlier
got
this week.
fight in us. We're experienced. We're battle tested. That's
This
another thing.
team
Indiana
has
isn't
been-
battle tested.
Exactly, Oscar. This team has been
In
together
the playoffs, they've
for a
won by
year.
2 blowouts. They've been comfortable the whole time.
Yeah. This team has been determined. This team has been together for over a year. We saw Beck come in. Just over a year ago. He's had this team with him. We've seen studs like Malachi Tony. We've seen Ruben Bain be an absolute demon. I mean, what can I say besides just wow? I mean, just wow. Keep doubting this team. Yeah, they had bad losses. I admit they had really bad losses. They could have been number one. I mean, honestly, they could have been, and they should have. If they didn't lose, they should have been the number one team. I think Miami is going to win the national championship. I think we're gonna see Indiana play a full game. We're gonna see Mendoza finally play a full game for the first time since last week, and before that was probably 8 weeks
Collins
ago.
in shambles. He's covering his
Can-
face. He can't handle it.
Can
He can't handle the
Indiana
truth.
handle Ruben Bain? No. Can Indiana handle this pass rush? Absolutely not. I mean, guys, I said it.
Let
I
him
just
know,
said it.
Mark.
I said it. I said it 20 minutes ago, and Colin quoted me on this. Defense wins championships,
Championships.
and I will live by that. This Miami team has one of the most impressive defense I've ever seen and witnessed. Do they give me a heart attack? Pfft. Well, I'll be damned they do. Are they going to drop 5 picks like they did last game? Hell no.
I hope
Pardon
not.
my language. Heck no. This team is on one, bro. This team is on one. They watch film, but so does Indiana. Yeah,
You know,
Indiana,
Mark's
Indiana,
right there, Colin.
Indiana
That Ole
watches
Miss game
film.
had no business being as close as it was.
Indiana watches film, but so does Miami. And Miami, bro, this team, they're young. At least, no, actually, they're not that young. I take that back. Their average age
No,
is it's actually
they're-
higher than Indiana, but it's only by like 0.4 of a year. But
No, I think Indiana's
They're-
average age is the highest, and it's not even close.
I don't know. But they're smart. This team is smart. And I'm gonna
They're
be
well
honest.
balanced. I think the
If
term you're looking for is
Miami
they're well
plays
balanced.
a game where they minimize the mistakes that they can capitalize on Indiana's mistakes, which they can make mistakes, and they do make mistakes. I think it's wraps. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be a great game.
You know, yeah. Let me just say one more thing. I think
Go ahead.
Mark put it quite well there and quite eloquently. I think this game really does come down to Miami. If Miami makes mistakes, like we did against Ole Miss, then yeah, we probably lose this game. But if we play clean, like we did against Ohio State, I think we actually have a really good shot at winning this game. So the question comes down to which version of Miami are we gonna get, and that's what's gonna be exciting to see.
And
Because
that's
Indiana
exactly
doesn't
what I'm
make
saying.
mistakes. They never shoot themselves in the foot. They're the most disciplined team in college football. But they're very vanilla. They don't, they're always going to beat you the same way. They're always going to run their plays. And they run them flawlessly, which is why they're undefeated. All right?
But here's the thing. I kind of want to reflect on Oscar, and one other key point I want to hit, and clearly Colin's disappointed. He wants to go to bed. He has his financial whatever homework he has to do so he can get ready for intramural flag football tomorrow or whatever. I don't know, but do you actually have intramural flag football tomorrow?
I wish I did.
Oh, okay, close. But look, this Indiana team, we saw them dominate these last 2 games. because of their run. They had a great run. Nobody has a good run against Miami. Run game? No one. No one. You are not getting more than 5 yards a carry, besides that one by Lacey, who, right, A gap, busted through, that's it. That was a mistake.
Blown
We
coverage
we
too.
didn't
Yeah.
see that happen once anymore after the game. Ole Miss was scared to run the ball. They were scared, and Ole Miss quick off the snap, throw the ball, big guys. Indiana, they're not quick off the snap. If Mendoza's holding the ball, bro, if this kid's gonna scramble, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mendoza. I like you. I really like you. You're gonna be in pain, man. You're gonna get the effects of the Ruben Bain coming after you, and I'm sorry. I really am. I like you, but you can't handle it. You're not a big boy yet. It's okay. But that's what I think. I think Miami wins this game. I do. I do. I'm not
Well,
even delusional. I don't care. I don't care about. I don't support any team. I got every hat for every team in Florida. I could care less. Shoot, if
well,
UCF goes to the March Madness, I'll root for them. UF went to March Madness last year. I was rooting for them. Florida State goes to the college football championship. I'll root for them. But Miami, I'm gonna root for you. And yeah, deep down, maybe 1% more for Miami because they are that home team and I was raised around them and whatever. Of course, absolutely. But genuinely, as a person who kind of sees the facts, I think it's Raps. Give me Miami.
to tie it up in a bow for you, Colin. Remember,
Can I
this is the
s-
conference.
Before you
This
wrap
is
it up, could I say two things? Push back a little bit, please.
all right. Yeah, I'll wrap it
Thank
up
you.
and then you can say your piece.
Okay.
But to tie it up in a bow for you, Colin. This is the cafecito bowl. All right, you got to remember that. All right, the Cuban cafecito bowl. And what has been Miami's pregame routine for the O line and for all their other players right before taking the field? They
Cafecito.
take a little shot of cafecito. Hey man, it's written in the stars, Colin. You can't deny it.
All right. I can't disagree with that, but let me just say a couple things to finish this off. Uh, First of all, Mark, you said that like no one can run the ball against UM. Besides the Ole Miss 75-yard run, which you already touched on, against Ohio State, their leading rusher, Bo Jackson, averaged 5 yards a carry, and their second leading rusher averaged 4.5 yards per carry. That's pretty
Now,
solid numbers.
how many rushing yards
But
did they have in that game?
how many
They
yards and
had
how many carries?
besides sacks, taking away sacks, they had 87 yards
That's
on
nothing.
on yeah, but that's on 29 carries. So like
Exactly.
because they don't run the ball a lot. They didn't run the ball a lot. But I'm
Football,
saying
you
you
can't
can
run the
run the
ball.
ball against what they average 5 yards a carry. And then the
Yeah,
other
but
thing,
they got 80 yards total. So that's Pablo. That's more than half the runs that were getting shut down.
because they were losing the whole game. They had to throw the ball. They weren't running it. I'm just saying, like on a per carry basis, you can run the ball against UM. This has been proven. All right, not
Okay,
great.
yeah, but
I'm not saying it's
Indiana
easy.
doesn't have the running backs, or much less the offensive line that
No,
Ohio
Oh,
State has.
I
Indiana
disagree with that.
has a good running back. Indiana has a good
They
running
have
back.
a great running back, and their offensive line is great. I highly disagree with that.
No. Their running back tandem is better and more disciplined in terms of actual what they've achieved. I agree. Their running backs are much better, but the Ohio State offensive line, although they haven't played as well as the Indiana line, they're a lot bigger and they're a lot more talented, which was a harder matchup for the Miami defensive line.
I agree that they're bigger and more talented, but they have not been playing better. Indiana has the best offensive line. And I believe that. Their offensive line is really good. The second thing that Mark said is that defense wins championships, and he used that to explain why UM is going to win because their defense is great. Oh, yeah, their defense is great. Their
Yeah.
defense is top 5 in the country. You know who else is top 2 in the country? Indiana. So don't be talking about how UM's defense is all great, but that doesn't matter for Indiana because Indiana's defense is probably better than Miami's defense.
I gotta
That's my
disagree,
last
bro.
thing.
I gotta
In
disagree.
Look at
terms
the
of
numbers.
coverage,
Look at the numbers.
Bro,
coverage maybe, yeah.
I'm looking at the
But
numbers. This is NF Sports
Colin,
Reference. Everyone knows this page. I'm looking at the numbers.
you're a
Sorry.
numbers guy. You know, we know that you're a numbers
Mhm.
guy. Wait, can you open that thing up real quick?
Who's number 5 on
Sure.
that list?
Could
Who's
you
had a
UM.
much
could you
had a much crazier gauntlet than Indiana
could you
has.
open that up real quick, Colin?
Okay, because they've played more games. I disagree with that.
And against harder opponents.
Colin,
I
bro,
I
man,
okay.
No, you cannot disagree
man,
that we've played
Yeah.
against harder
I
opponents.
gotta say, bro,
We
Miami
played
played
against Notre Dame,
Miami
who
played
has
harder teams.
the
Sorry.
best rushing, the best running back in college football, and completely neutralized them week 1. We played Texas A&M, Ohio State, Ole Miss. Like, nobody's played a harder
We
schedule
played
than us
Ohio State,
because of
and
the
we beat them.
playoffs.
So does a number 5 team beating number 1 look better than a number 2 defensive team beating number 1? Absolutely. I don't care. Sure, defense does win championships. I think Miami has a better defense right now, Colin. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, that's fine. That's
So,
fine. You can
look,
agree.
look,
You can think that. I disagree.
You're
It's fine
a
though.
D1 hater, and you always have whatever numbers to prove us wrong, and that's why you're gonna be one of the best financial analysts that the world has ever seen.
Look, everyone is picking Indiana to beat Miami, so I don't think
This guy
thinking
muted me,
saying
but
that
he's gonna mute me.
it is
Now I'm
gonna. I don't
unmuting.
think
Colin's
it's
right.
crazy.
Everybody is picking Indiana to beat Miami.
So, like, you guys are picking Miami because Oscar, because you're a huge fan, which I would do the same, and Mark, you're a little biased, which I would do the same, and I am also biased, which is why I'm not picking Miami. We're all biased, okay? But
I'm
the
not biased,
objective,
bro.
I,
I want the Ore Diggers to win.
all right, look,
I've just
I don't
fallen in
think
love with Ruben Payne, bro. I'd do anything for him.
most people are picking Indiana. Do I think that means they're going to win? Obviously not. But because most people are picking Indiana, that makes me believe that most people think that Indiana has a better offense and Indiana has a better defense, especially since they're favored to win by more than 1 touchdown, which I think that's ridiculous. But still, because of that, people clearly think Indiana is better on both sides of the ball, and I happen to agree with
No.
them. Do I maybe agree with them a little bit more because I'm
Vegas.
biased? Sure,
Vegas
but
thinks, and Vegas was wrong.
no.
Vegas has been wrong.
Turn on ESPN. Every show,
Do you know
everyone's
who
picking Indiana.
Well, I was about to say that. Do you know who Josh Pate is?
Yes, I know who Josh Pate is.
Do you know who Josh Pate picked to win this game?
Miami, I would assume.
Exactly.
Okay, it's one guy. Like, great, good for him. I mean,
Yeah, but
Very
Colin,
valuable.
in a
I
world of
already
democracy, one guy makes a difference.
All right, I'm done with this. I'm done.
Colin,
had enough.
Colin, you see, you've
All
had
right.
enough. It's okay.
Well,
Yo,
that was
You'll
that
have
was it
more.
for us
You'll have
today
more
at the
next
Get It
week.
Right Saturday Night
will.
podcast.
you'll have more next week. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sign us off, Colin.
No, that's Mark's job. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Colin.
We'll see. I already said I won't be surprised.
road-
I just
the road-
don't think
the road-
Miami's
the
gonna
road-
win. If they
the
win,
road-
sure, like great.
The road line.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Man, for any girls watching this podcast, he's gonna mute me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching
So,
the Get It Right
for-
Saturday Night podcast. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. You're not going to hear any more from Mark. What does he say?
Look.
Okay. go ahead.
Colin's a numbers guy. Okay, in general, Colin's a numbers guy, and
I will
Colin
mute you
knows
again if you
that.
say something.
No. Colin's a numbers guy, and Colin knows that numbers don't lie. But I feel like in events and in games, sometimes the numbers will get proven wrong, and we saw it with the Cavs and the Warriors. They were down 3-1, the Cavs, and the numbers all said they're not going to make it, and they proved them wrong. The Heat were the 8th seed. They were playing up against Boston. They had a 3%
All right, bro.
chance.
We get it. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Listen.
I'm okay with this because I know in Colin's heart of hearts, he knows UM's going to win, and he's just hating.
And look, the numbers said that the Heat were going to lose, and they won. The numbers say that the numbers say that Miami's going to lose, and I think they are going to win. And it comes down to that. Numbers don't lie, sure, but numbers are sometimes wrong. And
What?
that's why
Just,
that's the end of the podcast. And
thank you.
we will see you guys next week on possibly a very interesting schedule of the podcast with interesting games going on and perhaps Ja Morant on the Miami Heat. But, hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We hope you guys enjoyed the vlogs that we did over winter break. And if you haven't watched them already, be sure to watch them. Share them with your friends. Honestly, amazing entertainment. I really enjoyed it, and I was part of it. So just watching that back was very fun. And That being said, make sure you guys take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Peace and love, baby.